and welcome to the Marley Bird YouTube channel. In this video, I will show you how to do the Kitchener stitch. The Kitchener stitch is one of those stitches that's invaluable to a knitter's toolbox. It's often used on the toe of socks or in the underarm area of sweaters. It's really not that difficult. It's just a process of using your yarn and tapestry needle to simulate the knit stitch by sewing the two pieces of stockinette together. Let me show you how to use the Kitchener stitch for a sock. To start the Kitchener stitch, you want to make sure that you have the same number of stitches on the back needle as you have on the front needle. You also want to make sure that your working yarn is coming from the needle that's in back. So for this particular sock, we have the yarn coming from the foot of the sock right back there, and this is the top of the sock facing us. We want to cut a length of yarn that is long enough to sew all of these stitches together. One thing you could do is you could take the yarn and you could wrap it around all those live stitches 3 times. And then the amount you have after you've wrapped it 3 times, give yourself a little bit extra and snip your yarn right there. That should be enough yarn to get you through all of the stitches, plus enough to weave in your tail at the end. Now we have this length of yarn we will thread onto a tapestry needle. I'll go ahead and grab my tapestry needle. And I'm just going to take my yarn and thread it directly into the needle. Now that your yarn is threaded through the tapestry needle, it's time to simulate the knit stitch by using the Kitchener stitch. Most Kitchener stitch patterns have you start off with a setup row. So what you will do is going into the yarn that is in the needle closest to you, you will go in as if to purl and leave that work on your needle. Now you want to go into the stitch that's in back and you want to go in as if to knit and leave that work on your needle. You'll notice I'm bringing my yarn underneath the needles each time. That is a setup row. Doing the setup row is not absolutely necessary, but it is written that way in most Kitchener stitch instructions. So that's why I'm choosing to show you how to do it here. Once you're past the setup row, my yarn is still coming off of my needle and back, and it's time to start the repeat. The repeat for this is, you go to the front needle, you go into this first stitch as if to knit, and that stitch comes off. So in, and that stitch comes off. Then you go into the next stitch as if to purl, and that stitch stays on. You pull the thread through. I come to the back needle. I will go into that stitch as if to purl, and it comes off. Okay, now I go into the back stitch and I go in as if to knit, and that stays on. I do want to make sure my yarn stays between my needles, right? Nothing gets overlapping my needles at all. You just give that a good pull. Okay, there's the repeat. I'm going to go in as if to knit and it comes off, go in as if to purl and it stays on. Go in as if to purl and it comes off, go in as if to knit and it stays on. Bring the yarn between the needles underneath them, okay? Coming back to the front, I go in as if to knit and it comes off, go in as if to purl and it stays on. I'm going to make sure this one is all the way on there. I'll go in as if to purl and it comes off, go in as if to knit and it stays on. Go in as if to knit and it comes off, go in as if to purl and it stays on. Go in as if to purl, comes off, go in as if to knit and it stays on. Go in as if to knit and it comes off, go in as if to purl and it stays on. Go in as if to purl and it comes off, go in as if to knit and it stays on. We're left with 2 stitches on the needle, so we only have 2 more steps to complete for a regular Kitchener stitch. For this one, we would just go knit and take it off, and purl and take it off. Give this a good pull through, and you have a toe of the sock. Once the toe of the sock is complete, go ahead and put your hand in the sock itself. Then you'll thread the tapestry needle through these stitches, so that way you can get rid of the final 2 stitches that were kind of poking out there a little bit. I just pull it through just like so, give it a good pull, and there is the top of my sock. You can see it's nice and finished. Now you know how to do the Kitchener stitch. Check out more videos right here on the Marley Bird YouTube channel. Don't forget to smash that like button. Thanks! Everything you need to know about knitting or crochet can be found right here on the Marley Bird YouTube channel. Learn with Marley Bird. Visit youtube.com/Marley Bird.